Mike. Tak. Kamera. Tak. Tohle budu vlastně asi dizernout. Tak. Když tak posloucháme modrá ten Frenba potká na Spotify. Modrá. A je to český podcasty o herním designu nebo o hrách. To dokážu sdílet. Tak, Czech podcast o game designu. No ale když se na to dívám jenom s malým, tak se nemůžu dívat na další. Musím si prostě nějaké songy. Tady no, that's a Czech podcast about games and game development. Mike, no, can't be. Hold on. Mike je mutnuté, to je divné. Mi to tady jede. No, it's going again. Hold on. I have to check the audio. Very quietly. Oh, hold on. Now? What about now? It's a mic sensitivity. I boosted it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. A little busy because I work again more. Thinking about study new 3D program. It's called 3D Code for sculpting because I like some of the features of that program. And price for license is fine too. I watched guy. He's called Robot Pencil, and he's doing concept design. And he works with 3D code and prefer 3D code than ZBrush. But he's more 2D artist than 3D. But still, you could check his YouTube. I bought a couple of his tutorials for concept design. And he's doing like a online class every year. It's not. It's always about the time and practice. If you have other stuff to do, and you have to do that, that's life, no? You could try Nomad 3D. It's easier. Or if you like sculpting, try to get normal clay. It's because that is a different sort of programs. But ZBrush is like Photoshop. Basically, every time when you rotate a mesh and you stop, it creates a image and you draw on the image, and when you rotate it again, it creates a 3D. Because ZBrush doesn't work as usual 3D software or other 3D software like Blender. That's why he's more effective with polygons, because because CAD is based on curves, and ZBrush is like a sculpting. For ZBrush, you need to learn more traditional sculpting than programs. Maybe you have a chance to get the monster clay somewhere online or somewhere. It's very good clay for sculpting because you can reuse it every time. You could heat it up with in oven or somewhere and form the basic shapes and use the traditional sculpting tools. There is a lot of sculptors online on YouTube as well. Hmm. Okay, I checked it. Nice. Yeah, it's good. Good start. Basically, you just check it from side and front and side and front, and after a while, it's done. Oh, you need to find your own approach to sculpting and stuff. At the beginning, I was working with Blender only and create all organic models in sub-D modeling, and now I use that from time to time for stuff, but it's boring. It's only about practice. I have a couple images online how my first models looked like. You just need to practice, do more practice. It's all because you learn from mistakes. But yeah, but I had a spare time. I was with no kids or just with job and nothing else. Basically, it was like a coincidence. I don't know how to say this. Was just like a way to say that or describe it. I was working in UK in the United Kingdom as a welder, and I had a English class every day, and after a while I learned a bit about English, not much, but I could read and understand with ease. Speaking is a little bit bad or worse because hadn't had a lot of practice in the time because people just were working and nothing else, no talking, and I don't care much about it. But after a while, I find out about the YouTube. In that time, it was around 2005, 6, maybe 7, and people started recording tutorials about 3D stuff. And when I was skilled enough with English, I could work and follow these tutorials and spend hours and hours and hours. Hey, Hamid, how are you? I spend not 10,000 hours, but a lot of hours. Spend a lot of hours with YouTube tutorials and learning about everything around 3D. I bought a couple books from Blender store in that time because digital downloads in that time were rare. They prefer more sending DVDs and that stuff. And I bought a couple books as well. Maybe 10. I'm not sure. I could find it. Hold on. I still have an email. Hold on. In 2012, I bought the official license for ZBrush. 2012. And that paid version, I maybe I used maybe pirate version before. I'm not sure, but Yeah, yes, yes, yes. But I'm not like a professional sculptor, and I do that as a hobby. And sometimes, from time to time, I got the job, professional job. But most of the time, the job is like a short term, nothing like games or some stuff like that for months, but more like a work for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, months max. Sometimes I do everything because people need a lot of different free models for TV or websites and this. Maybe couple days ago I shared I did Ray-Ban glasses from Meta with these cameras. Everything was modeled in sub-D in Blender. It's a like a different story compared to ZBrush. But it because Ray-Ban because they send me a cat files, and cat files are not good for CG rendering. If you need to smooth surfaces in render, you need to remodel everything in sub-D. Because if you have a cat files, these files they have like a I could show here. This could be a max surface resolution for CAD file. You could see these planes on the surface, and you can't do anything about that. And if you need to something smooth looking and good shape, you need to use a sub-D. It's a very difficult task because lighting on the surface shows all these artifacts, and you need to be very precise and got the perfect surfaces. Oh, no, it's hard because you need to get these shapes precise, and it's fun because it's completely different from ZBrush. It's like another kind of the job. I like that too. And sometimes I could use the ZBrush as well, but for Raven I use only Blender. ZBrush is good for organic stuff or for surface details. But I've seen a lot of people using with substance painter. You could use a substance painter for details as well. But I like this sculpting. It's like relaxation. Substance painter is more like you can't change the geometry. You need to have a mesh done already. Yeah, it's only painting. You know, you could paint details. You could paint a lot of stuff. You could paint these. I could sculpt stitches, like I could sculpt something like that. You know, like a stitch on it. I could do same in Substance Painter, but I don't like that. I prefer ZBrush because you deform and create a real geometry. You don't fake uh, stuff. In Substance Painter, it's only like a fake with different types of textures and materials. Like on Steam, yeah, sure. Yeah, I got the one version from Steam. Now I use the old one before they went to subscription model. I think it's 2022 or something. It's good because you don't need to install like a Adobe Cloud tool or something. I hate that. It spreads through your computer and I don't like that. I don't use Adobe products at all. I like to. I like to buy how it's called 3D Sculptor or something. It's for VR. It's like a VR tool. But there is a Gravity Sketch for free and I could spend just couple hours or not hours, maybe minutes in VR because it's a completely different approach and you could be tired in many minutes. I try to focus on 3D code in near future because lots of friends I know they still use the 3D code for UV mapping and retopology and that stuff. And texturing is there fine, like a Substance Painter, physical based rendering, materials. We'll see. I have a time, but I'm limited to. I know, but ZBrush is fine. I still use version 2022, and there is lots of good tools, but 3D Code has a couple special tools I like to use or use for concept design, for example. It's like how could I say? It's more there is a voxel sculpting, and you could it's something like a Dynamesh in ZBrush, and you could sculpt it with it faster. I mean, you mean a 3D code? Hold on, hold on. Tam to nevidíte, jak to moc nevidíte ruka. Yep, it's a they have a like a license maybe every year new version. But you could buy a lifetime license. But what's best, you could use the trial for unlimited time. You could use it. You could practice with this program, and trial is not for 30 days, it's forever. Only stuff you can't do is export. I think there is a kind of a hack how to export from that software, even it's a trial, but basically you could practice, learn, study, and if you are happy with that program, you could buy it later on. That's why ZBrush create that free version, mini ZBrush or core or something, because it's cheaper and you could learn and upgrade. Basically, if you are not happy with ZBrush or you think it's too difficult, you could try ZBrush Core if it's still available. I'm not sure. It used to be. Because there is a new version of ZBrush for iPad. It's a completely different UI, and you could draw on screen. But thing is, you need to get iPad. Yep, that's true. There's no basically there for 3 years there is no big up. There is no like a huge or like something what convinced you to buy a new version of ZBrush. Even these guys I follow, they use just sculpting brushes and nothing else because they like sculpting. Um, they just use these basic tools. They don't even use trick trick I use daily. I'm not I'm not sure what's behind true reason why they sold ZBrush to Maxon, but I think it's something about AI because the owners sold the company before AI hit the door. And these days, I know about a lot of people with depressions about the future of this stuff, like a digital sculpting or anything like that, because you could create very easily, not art, but you could create a like a basic stuff very quickly with AI. And I've seen a more and more like job offers for like AI guys. Yeah, I think it's a good support, but I already like sculpting, and I have years of sculpting behind me, and I like it because it's like relaxing instead of the watching TV and be frustrated by news or stuff like that. I just sculpting, but people in these days they looking for jobs in game industry and they are discouraged by development of AI. Okay, I checked it. Thank you for info. Vegetarian. My YouTube chat is broken. I just tried to test message to YouTube because it's like a disconnected. I'm not sure it's still streaming and posting. Yeah, fine. It works now. Strange. Okay. Because I stream in. guys, come here. 11. Let's go. Where to? Hold on. I stream to in from one place to 3 different channels, and that's really complicated, but still works. I'm happy that chats work. Chat works fine. I have a one live viewer on Kick. Because Kick is a bit better than Twitch about nudity. Because you got the you could get the ban if you sculpt something inappropriate. Kick doesn't care yet. Maybe in the future. Okay. I have this cape on that character, and I think in original character from game it's in two pieces. It's like a hood and another is like a cape. I probably split it up, and for 3D printing I add the thickness. My plan is to duplicate that mesh, split it, and other thickness. I think with boolean I fill the whole mesh, and after that I cut this in. I'm not quite sure, but probably most more. Hmm. I have a shoulder plate on that character. I need to show it. Oh, that's probably biggest power with in ZBrush. It's a live cutting and live boolean in ZBrush, because you could analyze and view whole mesh. For 3D printing you could create like a molding it's called, I could show that. I could demonstrate that. For example, you want to cast this in, you could cast that. I add the cube. I hide everything else just to show the example. Cube will be on the first place, head will be second. I choose these small, like, check the screen if that's visible. I choose a second image or a second icon. Now I go to like Boolean. I have a shortcut on the side panel, but normally it's on a random Boolean. I hit that, and now you see I have like a casting. If I cast something or pour a liquid in it, or mold, or wax, or anything, that's it. It's just easy peasy. Another thing, if I take the cube and place it at the end, and I choose the third, is like an intersection. And now I could have a slim, I could slice it or slice it. I could check you need to check the integrity, Basically, you need to check if you merge couple different shapes together, you could check the inside of it, because from time to time you get like gaps in it, and that could be a problem. And if you use the simple plane, like if I have this cube, I select the like part of that cube and leave just plane, delete hidden, and I could use the plane as a slicing tool. I could slice that. See, for example, if I want to make a face only, I just choose activate Boolean, and I use the live Boolean, and head will be split. And if I create shape, hold on, split, if I create something like this, and I use the Boolean, See, I have one side, another side. There's a couple visible errors because there is an uneven number of vertices. Head is too dense, and plane I used is just simple mesh. This mesh is very like a low poly. It's better use the sub D, shift D or D, and create a couple levels, daily lower, something like that, maybe more. Make a boolean. Auto group, and now we could see still lots of damaged but this is a basic principle of Boolean cutting. Save. What I do to make it better, I use what I do is if I take this, I add a dynamic subdiv and create very small thickness. It depends on how big that model is, but just add a small, tiny thickness to that plane. You create a gap for glue, and you could get a better result for that boolean. I think there is some kind of error because there should be a pin. The shape should be like that. But if there is some kind of error, most of the time it's because mesh is not closed or other stuff. See, I just use a low dynamic subdiv during the boolean, and it looks much better now. See, and you could create a complicated joins, even these cuts you could create in a cat program if you need to. There are I think, I'm not sure, but I used to have it directly in here. Okay. It's not. It's like a joins. I have like a this shape. It's like this, and you could create it. It's much better use this shape than a simple cone or like round one, because these shapes defines more angle as well. Also, this one you could twist that and glue that by, or you could use the two different like pins on that head, not one but two, one on the top, not on the below. You could, or you could just use the ball. I could show you another way. It's the same, but a bit different. Because you could, I use this plane just for cutting. And there is order for these tools, and you could do like very funny things with that. For example, you could cut a head in half first, after that join something in, cut it out, and create a normal or complicated joints like yeah, you could use the you could deform you could create planes. You could I couple times I used hold on, I delete this one. I insert a plane again, double. Yeah, you could use the ball instead, or you could create a random shape like that. Something like that. Or what's the most impressive with this? You could sculpt, and I show that to you. I create a new mesh From brush, I use the polysphere. From brush, okay, hold on. See, and that's another thing you could do if you use the, or you do a damage or something, or for example, you want to cut the hole inside the head, you could use the boolean, live boolean, and you have a hole. You could cut the eye, you could do anything, and what's even better, you could flip the normals for that ball, use the builder brush, add a couple subdivs, and start sculpting. Hee-haw. And you sculpt like a ball from inside, and you could create a, I don't know if that guy is like get something with his eye. See? This way I do like if I need to do a hollow mesh, I do that this way. Basically, I duplicate. I take a head, duplicate a head, dynamesh that head, get like a lower mesh, deflate, dynamesh again, smooth, cut out the ear, dynamesh again, what? It hidden, dynamesh again, something like that. And now I could take the neck in here, like something like that. Now I do a boolean, see, and last part of that is I add a cube again. Take maybe cut, and now I see inside, and I could just move the head gizmo and very slowly checked wall thickness for 3D printing. See in here, it's very thin. I go to inner part, in the inner head, and just take a move brush. time I could rotate that, place it on the half. And you could check that from the side. And since you could apply it, or like I could duplicate that cube again and place another cube on the side. And one could be like a base, head could be cut inside. This one could be add again. And you have a shape for molding. You could mold half of it. There are people, best channel or watching these inventions and the stuff, people use it different ways or like a new ways. It's a Pixologic ZBrush Summit. You could learn a lot or get lots of tips how to use ZBrush and Google more about that. There are really crazy people from different companies around the world, and they show yeah, no problem. They sh they could they share progress from. Best of them are from Japan. They use the ZBrush daily, and I was surprised there was a game, I think Halo? No, Halo. It's called. It's like a. Uh, hold on. Destiny. And I was surprised they sculpt guns and stuff for game in ZBrush. Even the guns, hard surface stuff, everything. Hold on. Come on, do some yellow. Yes. There's a complete breakdown for Destiny and ZBrush. Because they use the ZBrush for not concept design, but for you could use the ZBrush for concept design, but still lots of them use that for high poly sculpting. I've seen a couple old school guys, they create a basic mesh in Maya, and after that they carry on to ZBrush. Yep. Just don't forget to use the subtitles. You could choose any, almost there is a 30 different languages. You could find your own. In the future, YouTube get they get it's like what's called, not subtitles, audio dubbing, dub. There's a lot of free stuff on internet, but you need to look for it. Yep. There's a lot of people from Spanish or Portuguese speaking countries. There's actually one guy, he's called a Glauco. He's very, really good, Glauco Longi. And he done couple podcasts recently from different artists around the world. You could check that too for inspiration. And Glauco used to work on God of War with other good sculptor. They are actually from same country, Raf Grassetti. About Raf Grassetti, I'm a bit sad about his situation because he left Santa Monica studio for Netflix company, gaming company, and Netflix closed it down all in a couple months because they're going to focus on AI generating games. Yep. There are tools already. You could generate like a concept designs for games in real time, and there is an estimate for if that's possible now. Maybe in a couple of years, you get the game you want, just simply asking AI, or AI could create a game for you with game mechanics you like. It could sound like a sci-fi, but it's not, unfortunately. Microsoft Studio already showed like a AI live game generator where you could get the first working concepts. Because AI could now AI could help you with coding. You could you don't need to learn coding, and you could ask AI to do that for you, and you could build a game from scratch. It's not totally like it's not as easy as it sounds, but AI could help you a lot, and we are just at the beginning. Yep, yep. They need to find out how to satisfy more people and be versatile. Like a couple of people likes strategy games. Other part of people like stealth games. Other guys like something else. And create these games is very expensive now, and they need to find out how to create them faster and better. But funny stories. Lots of no AI is fine, but you need to get something like a main brain behind these games, and that's problem for these big studios now, because like a Blizzard, they're planning to make a new game like a StarCraft game, but they have no brains, or they have no people. Because these people left long ago because they were not happy about company directions. Like yep, that's just beginning, you know. Good artist is very expensive, and very took years and years to get trained, and these greedy companies need the money, and they find ways. AI is a big gift, but I think like it could take power from these companies, and people, ordinary people, or indie developers could create better games and could create interesting new experiences. But we'll see. But that AI could, for example, predict not like a future, but could predict would I say that trends? Yeah, like what will be popular next year, for example. But still, you could surprise. I was surprised myself with one thing. Gaming industry or gaming customers are same numbers for years because people getting old and stop playing and new people are born and start to play games and stopped again. And I'm from Czech Republic and there is a growth rate maybe half as used to be. My generation was very strong. There was like 200,000 people born in 1 year, and now it's just 80,000. And people in my country like are dying out because they are not feeling safety, and there will be lower numbers of customers for games, for everything. Another way, government is scared by these because there are no taxpayers, future taxpayers. Yeah, it's 84, I'm 78. And that was a very strong year in Czech Republic. And I read a recent review about gaming on Steam, and there is a 90% or 80%, 80% of players, they play only old games because it's cheaper. It's you could buy a game 5, 10 years old, and it's still looking good and it's playable, and you probably haven't played when it was released because PC for that game was high end, and now you could play it on a laptop. It's same with this game. I model character from game Styx, and it's 10 years old game, and still I could still enjoy it because graphic is not best, but I prefer gameplay than graphic style or performance and that stuff. It's good when a game has a shiny, nice graphics style or performance is good, but it's not necessary. Yeah, 90s are big change in my country because communists were gone for good. Yeah, people in the past they need to more compromise or be clever, optimize everything. And Netflix, I read like it was about a game industry, like a interview with guy from Netflix, and they expect people in the future will be preferring to play games like on more on mobiles and handhelds and that stuff than PC. And I'm not surprised because that trend is already in China, where people play more on phones in a decade. It's like 10 years already, and what's in China and Japan, it could be expected in Europe in years to come, like 5 or 10. All the time. 20. Yes, times fly. I need to go to work tomorrow. Then I'm ending soon with stream, and I'll be back tomorrow maybe. Not sure. Probably. But I'm not in a good shape at night. Most of the time I'm tired, and sometimes I could visibly fell asleep. It happened a couple of times already during the stream. Because it's sometimes I regret to do a normal job and have this sculpting and ZBrushing just like for fun, because I could earn good money. But from sculpt these jobs I have in 3D, but it's not all time. It's not like how could I say that? It's not good source of income because it could be fine in one month and next month it sucks. Yeah, I could say it's fine. sometime I earn some extra money for new PC or new components for PC, or could buy something else for another hobbies. Mm. It's actually sometimes very satisfying to create something useful or help people, or because even in zebra, if with zebras you could create lots of stuff that actually could save the lives. Because ZBrush in the US or is used in a medicine, or dentists use that a lot. And there is a trick I sh I made a video long time ago about it. I showed that Boolean tool, how does it work, and actually you could take like a MRI scan of a skull of someone's head, and you could sculpt on that and create like missing pieces of his head, and you could print it out and doctors could place it in his head, and you could create a perfect piece. Because that boolean creates a exact filling. Shoulder. Oh, oh yes, it depends. If it's some local guy, or from time to time I get a job from company in the UK, it's better. For locals, it's more like a hobby. Because people, Yes, but it's, for example, if I create something like this and I spend a month or 40 hours with this sculpt, it's like a month's wage. But there is a problem. It's not, oh, it's not, it's good. It could be good, but it's not perfect. And there is a very high number of people selling much better sculpts than me, and they used to have, no, not used to, but they create like a Patreon or something long time ago, and they build like a create a community, and they actually react to their needs. They like people ask for character from that game, they create a character from that game, they ask for something else, and they do what their customers wants, and I don't like that. If I'm forced to do something, most of the time I don't like to do that. For example, I want to sculpt this guy, and next day I could switch to another character and do something else, and I won't be someone's puppet. Mm-hmm. Mm. To je vlastně to. To nechci udělat ty kosti, jo. Vlastně dobré. No, tam ještě udělám potom. Kdy? No, já nalovám druhou a třetí. Pardím teďka. To teoreticky jak to vede. To je vede jako nějak to možná. Nice, bedtime. Bedtime.